So this will be the last item on the program agenda. JCI co-representative Mr. Sergio Shigeo Kato will be delivering closing remarks. Over to you, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for staying with us for longer hours and participating in the Japan Climate Action Summit 2025. Now, that we had this summit at this timing is because we were not able to attend the COP30. Now, immediately before COP30, the United Nations Secretary General has made this appeal. So let me read this. Looking at the different countries' climate change countermeasures, if all of them are fully implemented by the year 2035, the global warming could be contained to 2.3 degrees Celsius rise in temperature. Now we are discussing 1.4 degrees Celsius, but last year the forecast was 2.6 degrees Celsius, so 2.3 degrees Celsius is lower. So it is a progress, but it is still insufficient. But it does not mean that we should give up. It is not a reason for us to give up. By the end of the century, in order to achieve 1.5 degrees Celsius rise in temperature, we need to speed up. At the COP30 in Brazil, we need to come up with a bold and trustworthy action program to be formulated and implemented. It should be the turning point for the mankind and for our planet. Now, this program, the summit this time, I believe would be a good answer to this appeal, I believe. Now, Michelle Madera from CDP, we started with her keynote speech, and in 3 panel discussions, we were looking at the crisis for the planet Earth and what would be the solutions and what is the global trend. All the comments and words of the panelists have been so deep and profound and very close to our hearts, especially session 1, including Mr. Saito. They were discussing what can we do for children, being frequently heard. And for renewable session, under session 2, we need responsible and high-quality renewables. Those were discussed. And in the last session, looking at the global trends, the economic viability should be what we are aiming for. And Richie-san has said, by design, so we need to move with intent and with plan in mind and with design. We need to move forward. So we have heard the words of the distinguished panelists who have provided us good clues and hints for actions going forward. Once again, big applause for our panelists and the moderators. Thank you. So the knowledge and the information have been shared with us. Based upon that, what should we do? Were you convinced of what we should do? It's been 10 years since Paris Agreement, and we are coming to COP30, the COP for action. So we need to once again come together to overcome crisis. At this summit, we wanted to put forward our strong will and intent to do so. And as we have received the comments and inputs from all the summit participants, I was encouraged very much. So with this in mind, as JCI, today we have come up with declaration for Japan Climate Action Summit 2025, leading the transition to a decarbonized society. We will never stop. This is the title of the declaration. So up until today, 334 groups and associations have agreed to this declaration. So together with all of you who have agreed, we should even do more to engage the government and other groups and communities. And for this declaration, we have been given support message from leaders of the different fields. Let me introduce some of those messages. Although today he was not present, the mayor of Sapporo City, Mr. Akimoto, and Mr. Abe, the governor of Nagano Prefecture, who is the chair of the National Governors Association, and also COP30 Climate High-Level Champion, Mr. Dan Iyoshpe, and the CEO of Women Business Coalition, Ms. Maria Mendeluz, and all the others. More ambitious and energetically climate change actions are being promoted by Chiba Institute of Commerce and Okawa Printing and Hitachi Corporation and NTT Data. The top CEOs have all given us support messages. And Mr. Imai from Toda Corporation and from the speakers and panelists have also given us their support messages. And thank you very much for all your messages. And several times that we mentioned, the trend toward carbon neutral has been meeting with the headwinds, but whatever the adverse wind may blow, that this is a global challenge. And for the top management, this is a challenge for the top-level leaders. So the trend cannot be stopped. So there are three issues that actions are still moving forward. Firstly, at session 1 of JCLP, it has been discussing renewables introduction must be accelerated. We should move away from fossil fuels. Then next generation technologies like perovskite solar cells and floating type offshore wind farms and batteries. We need to invest more. We need to support these new technologies. The E3G and We Mean Business come up with a joint report. About 80% of the world business managers have been demanding for clean energy transition to move away from fossil fuel-based electricity, from the construction and industries, as well as the transportation sectors. They are trying to promote electrification and decarbonization using clean power to fuel the electric vehicles, heat pumps, and industrial processes. And thirdly, as Mr. Matsuo has mentioned, more effective carbon pricing system must be introduced. At last in Japan, the GX, the emissions trading system will begin from next year. But including CBAM of Europe, there are many mechanisms being created to encourage emission reduction. Because of the headwind, we should stop and try to review on our policies. Those top managers who are thinking as such, you should open your eyes widely and look at the whole world. And the hints from the case studies should be learned. In Japan, we have the new technologies like offshore wind, heat pumps, perovskite, solar cells, and also electrifications, as well as energy conservation. We can lead the whole world. We have a lot of potential. So once again, I would like to ask you and encourage you. Through the summit today, I hope that you have had a stronger will and intent to move forward. It is not too late for you. If you could agree to the Japan Climate Action Summit 2025 declaration, as we can enlarge those who can join us, decarbonization can happen. What we have in our hands, the existing technology, the expertise, innovation, the knowledge, all these would make decarbonization a reality. Now, I always share with you the slogan, but then Mr. Nihei has borrowed my slogan. It is a word from Native American. The earth is not something passed down from our ancestors. We are borrowing from our future children. So the earth, this planet, should be maintained as clean planet so that everyone in the future can still enjoy prosperous future. We should return the earth as clean planet to our future children. Thank you very much for all your support. Thank you.
Those were closing remarks from co-representative Mr. Kato. Those who were up on stage, we'd like to have you proceed to the reception venue. We'd like to thank you very much for your very enthusiastic discussion, and please proceed to the networking reception venue. Could we see the speakers off with a big hand, please? A request to the audience. This concludes today's symposium. We have completed all the agenda items on our program. With regard to the handouts and videos, this will be posted on the JCI website at a later date. We would also appreciate your cooperation in filling out the participant surveys. We will end the online session here. Thank you very much for staying with us for such a long time.